guys. Now, according to the news, my entire area is supposed to be destroyed by tornadoes any minute now. So I'm in my basement, my storm shelter. I was going to be down here anyway because there's a pool table. Other storm preparations. I took all of my cues off my wall and put them in cases, thinking that if a tornado wants to fling a case a mile away, that's easier to find than if it flings a cue a mile away. Might protect it too. The JB case, especially, looks pretty darn sturdy. So I'm shooting. This is my Predator Sneaky Pete, which I always banked really well with this cue. Never played particularly good one pocket with it. But, you know, oh well. This is the first time I've even hit a ball with it in months. So I don't expect it to make any shots. Anyway, get to the point, Dave. What's the point, Dave? The point is I want to follow up my last video. The last video I did was about what is a field player. I'm always saying, hey, I'll try to be a field player, but I've never really defined it. Well, my last video I did. In this video, I want to talk about some pros and cons. Why somebody might want to try it, why they might not want to try it. Things to watch out for, you know. I mentioned in the last video that a really big thing for me is the pace. It is a faster way to play. And I have limited concentration capacity. I always have had. And so the faster I play, the less I have to worry about my concentration running out. Also, the faster I play, the less I have to worry about getting distracted by pretty girl, for example, or loud ass drunk over here, or tornadoes bearing down on me. The pacing is important to me. If I try to play in a more orthodox manner and really, you know, practice routines and aiming this 11 and all this. Now, sometimes I can do it, but I can't do it for any length of time, any like long session. Well, for playing by feel, yeah, I can, because my brain's not going to get tired. I may still miss. Y'all can't see, but out that way is a window. So I keep looking for the tornadoes to come out the window. I should probably stop doing that. You're supposed to stay away from windows, right? Yeah. So the pace for me it's a big pro, but it can also be a little bit of a con. If I'm playing and I'm playing fast, using up my concentration to just not get distracted by stuff, because there's not a lot of analytics typically that's happening. I could miss an opportunity. There could be some really great shot, like especially in one pocket, that I just don't see. Some great safety that would have pretty much almost guaranteed me to win the game, but instead, because I'm all fast and loose and all that, I don't see it and I shoot something else. Right? So playing too fast can be a little bit of a bad thing at times, but it can be a bad thing for me because of I might miss seeing something. I might not think of something. I don't think it's a bad thing because I just shot too fast. I see all this stuff all the time about announcers on pay-per-views and tournaments, and announcers, if a guy misses a shot, the announcers will quite often go, well, he didn't take his time with that shot. No, some of us can't take our time with shots. Some of us, we have certainly tried to take our time with shots, but it makes things worse. So shut up, announcers. You don't know everybody. You don't know how everybody works. The way that I work, my best, is by not taking my time. When I start taking my time, that means I'm having a pretty bad day. So yes, I wanted to say that. By far, and I'm almost done with this video, can you believe that? There's not a whole lot to this. It's a pretty simple concept. And I explained most of it already in the last video. The biggest con to doing it by far, and I've been struggling with this since the mid 80s when I first got introduced to this approach to pool, is if I'm playing by feel and just bend over, maybe one practice stroke, maybe not, and I miss, or miss my shape, or scratch, anything at all that I do wrong, there's a part of my brain that I was taught, it was always called my ego, is going to scream and yell and pitch a fit. And see, damn it, Dave, if you would have taken your time with that shot, you would have made it. This happens every time I make any mistake when I'm playing by feel. It's been going on for 40 years, almost like I said. So I've kind of gotten a little bit used to it. It was a really good follow stroke. You see that? I've kind of gotten used to it. And so I can, oh, that silly ego side of my brain, he's so crazy, will eventually shut up until the next mistake that I make. But some people might have a really hard time with that. It can be a real confidence breaker to have a part of your own personality basically calling you an idiot all the time. And then you turn around and you do the same thing again. You play fast and loose again. Yeah, if you make another mistake, then you're a double idiot. And there's a part of your brain, or at least with my brain, that will let me know that I am now a double idiot. Something's wrong with that 6. Well, hey, I just remember this is also got a 314 shaft on it. So it's low squirt, and I'm definitely not used to that. That should be fun. I kept this cue out of the cases because it's the best cue that I have that I know I can still play really well with at times. Can you tell how well I'm playing? That isn't very expensive. And if something happened to this cue, I probably would not cry. If something happened to my Scruggs, or my Richard Black, or my Southwest or something, I would probably cry, or at least want to. So that's why this one is out. Even though, man, even though tornadoes are bearing down on us here in southern Indiana. Let me just touch on a couple things here. This is like bonus content. It has nothing to do with the subject. But anybody stuck around watching this video long enough, it could be my last ever video, right? If I'm going to shoot the 6 in that corner with outside English, which is typically what I do, and I overcut it or overspin it, in other words, if I miss the pocket on this side, that typically means that the cue is not squirting as much as I think it's going to, as my interpolator thinks it's going to. In other words, I aim it, I'm expecting it to squirt out a certain amount, but no, it's not. And then the spin takes over and goes insane. So if I miss this shot to the right, like that, I didn't do that on purpose. That was a good bang. It's typically because the cue's not squirting as much as my interpolator is expecting it to do. If I shoot a shot with inside English, the exact opposite thing happens. If I want to shoot this with, say, top right and go down there, if I miss the 6 to this side, again, the cue didn't squirt as much as I thought. I thought it would squirt all the way over here and be lined up to put the 6 in the pocket. But no, it didn't squirt over as much, so it lined up to put the 6 into the ring. Does that make sense? I don't know if I described it. Just like that. I didn't do that on purpose either. This is a pretty low squirt cue, certainly compared to the ones I'm used to. That's the way to always tell if you borrow somebody's cue or something's wrong with yours. You pick up a house cue or whatever. Not all house cues are high squirt cues. Some of them are pretty good. Just a kind of a quick way to tell. Assuming that you're, you know, I guess a good enough player to be consistent about your bottom outside English or whatever. If you're consistent about that, and with this cue, you overcut it, whereas you know that normally that would be a really easy shot for you with your normal cue. This means this cue isn't squirting as much. That's all it means. So I have to make a conscious effort to change my aim point, not just try to look at the shot as a whole and put it in. I have to make a conscious effort to try to change my aim point to the left a little bit more. I'm used to having to aim out here. This is an exaggeration because it's going to squirt back over. I have to move. I have to aim at a different spot. I have to aim it like I'm going to miss it. I have to aim it like I'm going to put the 6 about right here. Again, we're talking about bottom outside of this kick. I have to aim to undercut the shot, and the shot often will go in, not every time. With inside English, I aim to overcut the shot because it's not going to squirt as much. If top left on the shot, it's not going to squirt all the way over to here. It's just going to squirt just a little bit. So just aim to overcut it a little bit, and often the shot will go in. So this video is probably long enough to be my last video. It's eerily calm out there right now. I'm not entirely sure I like that. But anyway, if I don't see you guys again, thanks for watching. If I do, then I guess that means I lived.